Hi guys, welcome back to the part 2 of section 2 of our Netflix project lesson. Okay, so to move on, I would like to make some few changes before we move on. So the first change or change number 1 is when you take a close look at this step 3 of 3 and the setup of credit card fonts over here, you can see the space in between them is quite small. But when you come to the site and look at what you have on the site, you have a bigger space as compared to the image. So to fix this error, let's head over to our code, and what you are going to do is line 26, which is the span line. You just control X, cut that line off, and we are going to paste it inside our paragraph tag. So the paragraph tag with the class of txt, paste the span over there, and let me just shut this down. Control S to save, and the text move to the next or the same line of our set, our tray of three, but we don't want that to happen. So to do that, add a break sequence here, break line sequence to shift it down, and okay, now it's perfect. And also the default arrangement for this picture is inline, which has nicely and automatically be identified by um, Google Chrome, but it might not be the same in other websites since the default display arrangement for elements on the web pages are blocked. So to fix this, let's change the display of our images to inline. So display here, copy the class name, Control C, and inline system one, just paste it and set it display to inline. Nothing is going to happen. Oh, inline, I didn't finish typing. So inline, alright, control it, and let's see, nothing happens over here, but then we have just set a criteria, or we have set this image here to an inline display just in case the site fails to load it as an inline. Alright, let's move on. Let's see what we have next on our image. And okay, so the next thing here to do is this input. So this input is basically um an input for the user to be able to change the basic plan. So the payment plan over here, the user should be able to change this. And to do this input, you're going to need a JavaScript help. So you're going to need the help of JavaScript to do that. And this lesson is not featuring any JavaScript since we are just working on user experience, user input, not the experience. So the user interface rather, not the experience. So user interface design, I don't want to involve any JavaScript code over here. So we are just sticking to HTML and CSS. So to do that, we're just going to keep this simple. We are just going to create probably a box with a text inside, which color will be set to blue, and some few text inside. Okay, so the next thing to look at is the terms and conditions over here. So I'm going to put the terms and conditions text in the description below. So you can just go to the description and copy and paste the terms and condition text inside your code without you trying to type everything. Alright, and the last thing is our button. So let's start working on that. So inside VS Code, and before we do that, we realize everything here is a form. Nothing here is outside the form, and everything has been grouped as section 2. So inside our same section and inside our same form, yes, inside our same section and inside our same form, we start with the second thing. And the second thing to work on is the, let me confirm, is the basic plan. Okay, so we're just going to keep it simple as I said earlier. So to keep it simple without any JavaScript, we create a div and we name this div as plan underscore container. And in this plan underscore container div, we have a paragraph with a class of payment. The class of payment. Okay, so this has let's confirm that $8.99 per month. So shift, how do we get the dollar sign? Shift 7, yes. No, not shift 7. shift 4 rather, sorry, that took quite some time to see. Shift 4 for the dollar sign, and we have 8.99 forward slash month. Is it capital M or small m? So small m, month. Control S to save. Let's see, nice. So from the picture, it is bolding. So let's do that. So bolding, let's bolding our text here. B, cut this and paste it here, and see the effect. Okay. And our beneath our payment, we have a basic plan. So let's do that one too. Basic plan. So to do the basic plan, I'm just going to keep yes, I'm just going to keep it inside the paragraph, but then we create a span, create a space inside the paragraph. So inside the paragraph, we are creating a space to hold something. This span has a class of plan because we are just going to yes, we are going to change its features. So let's set a class. So plan is a class name, and inside it has a content of basic plan. Control S. Let's see what happens on the side. All right. Do we need to break it down? Yes, we need to break it down. We need to add a break sequence. So break sequence, and let's see. Nice. Right where I wanted it. Okay. So the next thing to design on the page is our change text. So the change text inside the same plan container, we create a paragraph, and this paragraph has a class of change, and change is its content. So change, okay, and I think it is bolding. Let's check that. Yes, it is bolding. Let me just zoom in. So it is bolding. Let's add the bold here. Okay, Control S, and that has changed. I'm not working with CSS for now. So, oh, okay, so I think I'm done with the first thing I need to do before moving on. So let's try editing this in CSS. Let's try adding some nice qualities to look like just what we have on our picture. Okay. So the first thing over here to change, I think, would be the color. Let me check. Let's start with our change. So dot change. Let's set the color here. What color do we have? It's not that deep of a blue, so hashtag let me see the color code. So hashtag let's try 006 FFC. Yes, this is okay. And let's change the cursor property. So cursor property to pointer. So when we hover our cursor on it, it should change from it being the display cursor to a pointer cursor. So let me cut this off and save, and let's see. So yes, without this property or without this attribute, when you hover your cursor on the change button or the change text over here, it's just a simple text cursor over here. So a text indicator cursor. But when you set the cursor property to pointer, it will just change it to pointer, the pointer cursor when you hover. Alright. Now let's set our plan. I think the plan should change. Yes, have a plan here, and I did that for the basic plan. And look at the color. Okay, yes, it's not black. So the basic plan here is not black. So let's change that. So dot plan, and what color will be suitable for this? Okay, just like our normal color. I think this will be okay. So 7575 will be okay. Let me copy this. And color should be hash. Yes, 7575 is okay. And 7575 is okay. No, 75. No, no. Let me make it a little bit deeper. 7B, 7B, 7B. Oh, it's quite the same. So you can just choose between 7575 and 7B. 7B is almost the same. Right. Sorry. Let's move on. Now let's make this whole thing over here. So on the side, let's make this whole thing line up on one line. So to do that, we have to change our display here. So reference or make reference to the parent element. So the parent element is a plan underscore container. Plan underscore container. And we are making everything display or move to a straight line. So on a horizontal line, everything should be displayed on the horizontal line. Let's try using the display inline to see if that works. Nope, that didn't work. Let's use the display flex. Yes, and we see the change here just moved. Now let's create some gap and let's change something. So the background color first, if I'm right. Yes, the background color is not white. Background color is not white. Hashtag. Let me use 7B to see that is 2B. 5. No. Okay, F5. 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 Yes, F5. F5 is okay. F5. F5 is okay. Let me make it a little bit. Okay, I think C D C C C C is okay. Right. Let's move on. Oh no, this is too much. I didn't save it, so I didn't see the effect. This is too much. I think I should just keep it at F5. 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 Yes, just keep it here. Right. Next thing to do is the width. Yes, the width should be 100%. 100%. Okay. And let's justify the content. Let's shift the change all the way to the right side. And to do that, space between, not space around, space between. Nice. Now let's add some padding. If I'm correct, let's do some padding and some border should do some magic for us. Okay, so padding, the top should be 0 pixel. I don't need anything at the top. The right side, I think should be 7 pixel. The bottom, so I don't need anything 0, and the left side should be 7 pixel. Okay, so it's almost like our input box over here. Now let's round up the edges. So border radius here should be set to a 3 pixel, just like our input, and the edges are rounded. And I think the text should be centered. Yes, the change over here is not centered enough. So it's not looking like a centered text. So let's change that to align text, so align items, center. Okay, so we are done with first one. What is next? What is next is the terms and conditions. Okay, so back to HTML. Back to HTML. So our terms and conditions, we need to create a division for that as well. So div is a class of terms underscore container, terms underscore container, and a paragraph as usual. So I have my terms written here in my notepad. I'm just going to copy this, Control C, and save it some time. Okay. Now let's arrange this. Okay, let's Control S. All right. So we need to arrange it just like we have it on our picture over here. So from by clicking all the way to terms of, we should have a break sequence over there. So by clicking all the way to terms of, we have a break sequence over here. Oh, it didn't work. So, break sequence. Nice. So the next one is Netflix reel. Let's search for Netflix reel over here. Break sequence. Yeah. And what's next? Monthly. Monthly here. Break sequence. What's next? What's next? You. Something comes before the you. Until you. So until you. Break sequence. And the last one is cancel. Until you cancel. So you cancel. Let's look for cancel. What is cancel? Wait, hold on. So cancel. So the first, yeah, second one, not this. So there's a comma here. Yeah. And yes. So that is it for the terms and condition. So let's add some span so that you can edit some aspects. You can see some aspect is blue and bolding. So to do that, let's put a span around that. So the terms of user up to the statement privacy. So from terms of user, this all the way to the privacy statement should be in a span. So let me span this and give this a class of blue. There's the color name. Cut this span, Control X, and end it here if I'm right. Yes. And what's next? From Netflix will automatically continue your membership all the way to avoid future charges. It's bolding. So let's find that one too. Netflix will continue, so automatically continue this B all the way to where future charges. So for future charges here. Okay, there's no space in the top. Okay. So I think the full stop is also bolding. So we need to put the full stop there. Alright. Now I think it's time for us to edit. Yes, it's time for us to edit. Time for us to edit, and let me just make my CSS a bit bigger. Okay. So what are we beginning with first? We are beginning with the terms container. So terms container is a class name. So terms underscore container, and it has a margin top. It has a margin on the top from the picture. Yes, it has a margin on the top. So margin on the top, and I think 30 pixel will be okay. Let me confirm from the picture. Yes, 30 pixel from the image is okay. Now the color of our text is not black. Yes. So the color of our text should be changed. So color should be set to 7B. Yes, color should be set to 7B. So okay, from the image, the color and what we have on our site is quite the same. And what's next? The font size I think should also change. The font size is the font size. Font size should increase a bit. Let me set it to 14.5 pixel. 14.5 pixel. It's okay. Now our text align. The text align should be aligned to the left. And that one nothing happens because of our break sequence we have added. And I think I should add some margin to the bottom because the next thing to design is our margin to the bottom. Okay, you're not going to see the effect now, but when we start designing the last button on our font, you're going to see the effect. All right, the last thing to do is our blue. So blue here is dot blue, just blue. So blue and set the color to this first one. Okay, so now I think we have exactly what is on our image. Nice. We are left with our start membership button. So we'll create that to end this lesson. And in our next and final lesson, we're looking at the footer. So we're back to HTML. Let me hide my CSS now. So inside our forms, still inside our form, but outside the terms and condition div, we create another div. So inside our forms, but outside our terms and condition div, we create another div with a class. Or should I put this in there? Div. I should just leave it just a button. So let's forget the div and create a button. So a button with a type of button and a class of B and T. Let me shorten it, stand for button. So inside our button has a value. Let me save this to see if nothing. Okay, this is our button over here, and you see nothing inside. So let's add its value. So start membership. The membership capital M. Capital M. So start membership. Start membership is our value. Okay. So let's head over to CSS and start designing our button. So button has a class of .bnt. So .bnt is our class name, and let's look at its features. So it has no border. So it has no border around it. It has a red background color. It it's a button, so probably we should change the cursor to a pointer when we move our cursor to it. So it's a button. And the text is also white. And the font size is also big, a little bit big, not that big. Okay, so let's start with that one. So first I said it has no border, so the border should be set to none. And you see the border disappear right there. So the border has disappeared, and it has a background color of red. If red, this red is too red. Let me change it to my hexadecimal. So hashtag E50913. Yes, that's red. Okay. And it has the cursor feature, cursor to pointer. It has the text to be the color of the text to be white. So hashtag FF. Right, okay. Now we need to enlarge and create some spaces around this button. So to do that, I'm just going to add padding. Yes, padding will do that. Padding, and 20 px, 20 px on the top, 5 px, 5 px, right, 20 px also on the top, and 5 px on the left. This is what has happened. Now set its size. Font size here has changed to 15 pixel. Okay, and I think that is all. Is that all? Okay, yeah, left one final thing, the width of 100%. Nice. So I think this is all. Yes. No, we are not done. We are not done. We are not done. Yes, we are not done. It has a rounded edge, and ours has a pointed edge. So let's fix that. So border radius here of 3 pixel. Yes, now we are done. So guys, this is how far we have got to in the Netflix project. So the next lesson, the next and final lesson, is going to feature the footer. So section 3, the footer. So the footer will be our final project or our final lesson on the Netflix project. And after that, we create one more user interface. Then we move JavaScript. So we'll be creating this user interface and move to JavaScript. Alright. See you guys in the final lesson.